Much indeed for your time. I just heard the police minister saying that Ipid gives him a long list of names of SABC members. How long is this list that he gets?
Good morning, Blaine, and good morning to SABC viewers. Indeed, Ipid is inundated with the list of cases that we are working on of police misconduct or any sort of alleged police misconduct. But Ipid is working around the clock, and we are doing our best to ensure that at the end of the day, what we are interested in as Ipid is to ensure justice for the families of police misconduct. So we are working around the clock, we are doing our investigations, and we are doing all that is within our power to ensure justice for the families. We are going through those lists. There are various steps of investigation that Ipid has to observe. Remember, there's procedures that we have to follow. There are investigative aids that we have to employ as we conduct our investigations, and we're doing that, and we're doing our best to ensure justice indeed play.
It's important to note that there's a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. You start on the basis of that. You want to give family justice, as you say. Talk to us about the conviction rates. What's your track record? Well,
as you rightfully saying, what we are doing is to ensure justice for the families as Ipid. And Ipid is working around the clock. We are having our investigators working on cases that we deem to be more urgent, and cases that we deem to be more important, and cases of this nature, like the case that we're currently working on around the clock and processing evidence gathered, is one of those cases that we are prioritizing. So there are voluminous cases that Ipid is working on, and we can sort of indicate that Ipid is not a state institution without its own challenges in terms of resource constraint, in terms of human resources, in terms of financial resources. But having said that, we remain committed. We remain committed with a team of investigators that are committed to ensure justice for families of alleged police misconduct. That is why our investigators barely slept processing evidence that they were able to gather as they were in the crime scene yesterday, and they managed to collate and collect voluminous evidence.
The families of the victims will no doubt, and I guess rightfully so, argue to you that every case is urgent, which puts pressure on your institution to get it right. Talk to us about the latest case that you are investigating, the incident that happened yesterday. The man in his 30s, many say in his family, a promising life cut short, a father of three. What's the latest with regards to your investigations?
Well, at this point in time, and today, you would have had interviews that some of our investigators and some of our team members were visiting the family, which is part of our family liaison, which is part of the entire investigation process with the minister. And we've done the preliminary investigation yesterday, and during that preliminary investigation, Ipid was able to confiscate firearms after the preliminary investigation, and those firearms will be taken for ballistics, and they will be examined by forensic specialists. And as well, there's going to be post-mortem report that is going to be conducted this week, and that sort of report, all those sort of technical reports become very important for the evidential information that we collate, that at the end of the day we are going to present to the prosecutor for prosecution purposes. And we are also doing interviewing various witness statements. We are also relying on any sort of information that is available, including the CCTV camera, video clips that are available, and the video clips that we are getting from other eyewitnesses. So all those sort of information, we are ensuring that we are verifying all the unverified information that we have. We are using technical reports. We are employing investigative aids to ensure that we leave no stone unturned. And at the end of the day, to ensure justice for the family of the late gentleman. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mthokozisi Ntumba, yes. Thank you.
Yes. You say you've confiscated firearms. How many police officers, with regards to this latest incident, are you investigating?
At this point in time, Blaine, I'd rather not go to those details for a simple reason that when we conduct the investigation, what is important for us is to categorize and preserve our evidential content, because it becomes important at the point when we go to the court of law. Because remember, our main goal is to ensure justice. Our main goal is to ensure that the people of the deceased get some sort of a closure in terms of their lost member of the family. And we can only do that as the oversight authority by ensuring justice for the family. So if we started to divulge that information, it sort of compromises our case and its integrity. So, and based on that, I'd rather not disclose such finer details of our investigation.
Can you disclose at this stage if any officers have been arrested?
At this point in time, there are no police officers that have been arrested yet, for a simple reason as well, Blaine, that you understand the principle that we have, as much as alleged, the police have violated the rights of the citizens, but the human right that they also have, we have to observe. We have to observe certain processes. We have to reach a particular threshold in terms of our evidence, and once we reach a particular threshold, we consult with the crime prosecutor that will then sort of give us an authority to go ahead and arrest based on the evidence we have. And this investigation is it's infancy stages, but we're doing our best. We are working around the clock. We are going to ensure justice for this family, and at an appropriate time, we will definitely let the public know when.
While you, we still got you in Ndileka. We still got you. While
just talking, I thought.
Just one quick question before we wrap up. While you are conducting your investigations, does the officer or officers, depending on how many people you are investigating, do they remain on duty? Are they still on the field?
What the mandate of IPID empowers us to do? It empowers us to investigate and gather information. Once we get information, we then compile a report with recommendations to the employer. Because remember, IPID does not employ the police officers. The police officers are under the employ of SABC. So we recommend, based on the evidence, that you dismiss this police officer. We recommend that you suspend them based on the information. And they also, when they do that, we have to take into cognizance that it has to be done within the ambit of the Labour Relations Act. So, and their rights again are not violated.
Correct.
So, but we would once we reach a particular threshold, we will give that sort of recommendation to SABC.
So, just to clarify, at this stage, there was no recommendation to remove those officers that you are investigating from duty. At this stage?
Not at this point in time, because this incident only occurred yesterday. Once we have some concrete report and we discuss it, then we will give the recommendation at an appropriate timing.
We appreciate you, Ndileka, for coming on and giving us some perspective, some insight in terms of your work. Be well. All right, IPID's spokesperson there, Ndileka Ola, giving us a sense of what they are going through. She doesn't want to say in terms of how many officers are being investigated. What she did say was that firearms have been confiscated. So we will no doubt keep a close eye on this. We'll touch base with our reporters fanned out across Gauteng, Hasina Gori in Braamfontein, Griselda Lewis in Kempton Park, monitoring the scenes there. So stand by. We're all